So welcome back to our season 7. We just got done working out as a group. So if we all seem extra excited on today's episode, it's because we all have all these endorphins. But let's go ahead and hop on the scale and see how you ladies did last week.
Catherine, 208.6.
267.4 Jewel.
Are 133.0.
Judy Simpson, 140.4.
Bianca Ibarra, 168.0.
Paula, 157.5.
Adaswa Liho, 171.1.
Stacy, 229.6.
Carmen Afia, 174.4.
All right, so I have some standings here. In 12th place, and this is in the past 9 weeks. In 12th place, down 10.2 pounds, 4.43%, Miss Trisha. In 11th place, down 9.7 pounds, 5.36%, Adesawa. In 10th place, down 10 pounds, 5.41%, Heather. In 9th place, down 10.1 pounds, 6.02%, Paula. In 8th place, down 11.8 pounds, 6.33%, Afia. In 7th place, our 34-week pregnant mama, like whatever, down 13.1 pounds, 7.21%, Bianca. Awesome job. Not starving herself, not working out, even added some extra calories in for the baby, and still down 13.1 pounds in the past 9 weeks. Awesome job. In 6th place, down 12.4 pounds, 7.66%, Jennifer. In 5th place, down 12.5 pounds, 8.59%, Mary Star. In 4th place, down 27.6 pounds, 9.35%, Jewel. In 3rd place, down 21.8 pounds, 9.46%, our other pregnant mama, Catherine. In 2nd place, down 26 pounds, 10.17%, Stacy. And Stacy, was super proud of you last week. You know, it's really, last week, season 6 talked to you about the gray zone. And I loved your response in the group. You know, Stacy's like, I need to go back to the basics I was doing in the beginning. And now I've started veering from that and my results have shown it. And so she's like, I'm going back to the basics, and you shot right back up to 2nd place, had a big loss last week. And I love that when we go back to the basics, when we go back to what we know works, the results follow. And so Stacy's super proud of you for doing that. Awesome job. And holding down the 1st place spot, down 21.2 pounds, 13.11%, Judy. Awesome job. So what I want to talk to you guys about this week, this is something that all of us at some point are going to have to deal with. All of us at some point are going to have to deal with this. And somewhere inside of the journey, unless you quit and give up and give in, then every single one of us is going to have to deal with this. And unfortunately, most of us have to deal with this sooner than later. And it just is what it is. And that thing we're all going to have to deal with is negative people. When it comes to our weight loss journey, negative people. What do they say about opinions? They're like buttholes. Everybody's got one. Or they're like fingers. Everybody has a lot of them. I don't know what. Anyway, but everybody's got opinions. But
they're like buttholes and most of them stink. That's what my husband said.
I like that one.
Hey,
And so
Carmen.
everybody's got opinions on what size your butt should be. And it's so funny because, you know, I can remember being morbidly obese, and none of my friends, none of my family ever really confronted me on my size to my face. I'm sure they talked behind my back. I'm sure they said, have you noticed Carmen's gaining weight? Like, I don't think any of my friends and family went behind my back and was like, fatty, 2x4. Like, I don't think any of them did that, but I'm sure things were said, right? And so it was really funny because I really thought, like in my heart of hearts, in my brain, I really thought that when I started to lose the weight, all my friends and family were going to be like so excited because here I am, a mom of 2 at that point in time. I'm a wife, and we all know that, you know, the statistics tell us, the studies tell us, you can do any research on it, even when COVID was super rampant, that being overweight is the biggest contributing factor to like every known disease under the sun. Even COVID, the biggest contributing factor to having complications with COVID were overweight, smoking, and like age, like being, but overweight was the number one, like biggest complicator when it came to COVID-19. And so I really did believe, here I am doing something for my health. I'm going to lose weight and everyone's going to be so excited. And they kind of were in the beginning. And, you know, here's what I will say as my disclaimer. Sometimes people hear this and they say to me, well, Carmen, you know, I have lots of people around me that just really love me. Everybody is so supportive. That's fantastic. Most of the people that say negative stuff, it's not from a place of not loving you. It comes from their own insecurities. Okay. And so I'm telling you this to prepare you for what is to come at some point, what you're going to have to deal with at some point. And it's not always going to come from the place we think. Most of the time, criticism from others comes from their own insecurities. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. And the very first time I dealt with this, I had lost, I don't know, probably 60. I was still in the 200. So I hadn't even lost 100 pounds yet. I think I was like in the 2 teens. And I saw a friend that I hadn't seen in a while. She also was overweight. We had been overweight together. And I saw her and she was like, wow, you lost weight. You didn't tell me. Well, no, I mean, think about it. What's it like going to your overweight friend and saying, hey, by the way, I've lost like 70 pounds. I'm so excited. Like, you know, it's not like you do that because I already know that's not going to make her feel amazing. So she didn't ask. I didn't tell. It just was what it was. I was the kind of person that's like, I'll just let them see my butt. I don't need to like, you know, go to call everyone and be like, hey, by the way, I lost 60 pounds. And it really messed with her. And still at over 200 pounds, she started saying things like, because she would say, well, how far are you going to take this? And I'd be like, well, I still have a lot of fat to lose. I've got like, at this point, 80 more pounds. And she would say, oh, from where? Where's 80 pounds going to come from? You're going to look sickly. You're going to be one of those like, you know, like sucked in people like that, Carmen, that's not going to look good. Where are you going to lose 80 pounds from? And then she would make comments like, because my bathing suit was really big on me. And I refused to go buy another one because it was like November. I wasn't going to go buy another bathing suit because by the time summer hit, I was going to already undergrow that one. And she was like, your bathing suit looks ridiculous. Like you can't afford a new bathing suit. Like, why don't you at least have a bathing suit that fits? And it was just all these things. And I had a choice. I could either be defensive, I could defend my position to lose weight, or I could be confident in where I'm going, what I'm doing, and who I am, and why I'm going there. And this goes back to, if you don't know who you are, you will be who they say you are. You will go, if you don't know where you're going and why, you will go where you think they want you to go. And so along the path, you're going to have people that are going to question, and they're going to ask questions, and they're going to doubt you, and they're going to think you've gone too far. And I can remember, you know, there was nobody in my life, with the exception of my husband, including my mom, including my very best friends, who are amazing people, who didn't say something snarky about me losing weight. Something. And I just had to know, I had to look at my body fat percentage and say, no, someone with a 25% body fat percentage is not sickly. You're not too skinny. I had to combat their emotion with logic. Because here's the thing, the worst thing about success is a little bit, and you guys are going to talk about that next week. The worst thing about success is a little bit. And so often we start losing a little bit of weight. We start fitting into new clothes. We start getting into new decades. The compliments start rolling in. We start seeing people we ain't seen in a while. We start fitting into new sizes that we haven't put on. We start having more energy. We go from loathing shopping to now enjoying it. We go from not wanting to be in photos to getting photos back going, I look hot. Look at me, dude, right? Because most of us, when we're heavier, we hide from the camera. Well, as our body starts to change and we get photos, for some of you, like when you start to do photos, you're going to feel the fluffy girl inside of you. And before you get the photos, you're going to be like, oh, I hope they look good. Because when you're fluffy, right? You get photos back. And what's the first thing you look at? The bad angle, the gut, the double chin. But when you start dropping weight, you start getting photos, you start seeing photos of yourself and it's like, oh, wow. Like I don't have those same bad angles. I don't have that same double chin. And so you start seeing yourself in a different place than you've ever been. And good is the enemy of great. Good is what stops most people from ever being great. You have a good marriage. Okay, but do you have a great marriage? You have good finances, but do you have great finances? You have good health. For most of you, you've made really good progress, but you're not there yet. And so if we're not careful, we can allow other people's opinions to do a couple of different things. We can allow them to inflate our ego and make us feel like we've arrived. And then we start eating like we're in the freedom phase and we're really still in the focus phase. We can also, another thing that can happen is we can emotionally eat because we feel hurt from other people's opinions. We can also start to believe them and think, well, maybe, because have any of you ever had the fear when you were fluffy, or has it ever come out of your mouth that, yes, I want to lose weight, but I don't want to look too skinny? Has anyone ever thought that or said that? Okay.
Never, ever. No, I'm just kidding.
99% of all my clients have said and thought that. So I saw most of your hands go up because most of us have this fear of we don't want to like look like a 12-year-old girl. And so most of the time people are like, well, I still want to have a butt. I still want to have boobs. I still want to be curvy. And so what can happen is we can start eating because now we believe that we're getting too skinny. And this is where we've got to always bring logic up. And this is where checking our weight, checking our body fat percentage, because also you do want to make sure you're healthy. We've all also seen people, have you ever seen somebody who lost weight and then they got to a place where they looked unhealthy? Like they lost too much weight and they looked unhealthy. The good thing for you guys is most of those people that went there, they weren't working out. They weren't drinking the shake that we're drinking. They weren't doing it the way we're doing it. Does that make sense? And so let me go here. The part that ticks me off about all of this, and this is the part, is where were those same people that had an opinion about us getting too skinny or too small or too fit? Where were they when we were getting too fluffy? Where were they when we were shoving another donut in our mouth? Where were they when we were going through the drive-thru again? Where were they to say, hey, hold on, Carmen, you're a mom of two. Maybe you shouldn't get takeout tonight because, where were they then? Did anybody come up to me then to my face and say, whoa, honey, put the cheeseburger down, put the Doritos down? Nobody said anything when I was gaining weight every single month. But all of a sudden, I start losing weight, and now all of a sudden people are so very concerned about my health. And it really ticks me off because I see it happen all the time. Never take criticism from someone that you wouldn't take advice from. I'm going to say that again. Never take criticism from someone that you would not take advice from. And if the person handing out criticism does not have a body that you would want, should you be taking any kind of physical advice from them? Because the only place they can lead you is where? Where they're at. So if you want to be where they're at, follow what they're saying. Do what they're saying. Take to heart what they're saying. But if you don't want what they got, you let it go in one ear and out the other. Now, you still be a nice person. You can't control them, but you can control you. You don't need to say out loud, I ain't listening to you. Shoot, you're overweight yourself. Like you don't got the body I want. Like you don't have to cut them down. You don't have to get in their litter box. You can just go, okay, cool. Thanks. We're going to practice tonight, you being your own cheerleader. And so last week, so awesome. How many of you guys loved last week's call? Being encouraged by your castmates. Anybody else love that? So tonight you are going to have 30 seconds, a minute, whatever it is that you have written out, however long you take. I want you to talk for at least 30 seconds though. Okay. You're going to encourage yourself as if you were sitting across the table from yourself. You're going to encourage yourself. And I don't want you to say, I am this. I want you to talk to yourself as if literally you are talking like to you. You went back in time. You went forward in time. You're across from the table from yourself and you are saying, Carmen, you are this. And I really love when you do that. And when you do this, it really makes a difference. And man, so you're actually talking to yourself because this is a success skill. And this is a skill that we all need to have to win at this thing called life. If we are forever and always tearing ourselves down and beating ourselves up, how do we expect to run this marathon? Because life is a marathon. It is not a sprint. And if you are your biggest critic, man, you're going to have some hard times ahead. There's already going to be hard times ahead, but when you are in your own corner to succeed, makes it a lot easier to do so.
Paula, you are a beautiful human being. Your whole life, people have tried to destroy you, but that season is over. Your life has come full circle, and this is just the beginning. It's time for you to take off, and it's time for you to take off and fly. You have worked so hard to undo the lies that people have spoke over you your whole entire life. But now you know your true identity. Now you know who your creator is. Now you know that your life has purpose. You may be weak in some areas, but you know today that perfection's a lie. And every time you fall, you get back up. You are a strong human and a strong individual. You love deeply. Sometimes people take your love and try to use it as a weakness against you, but you know better than that today. And this is just only the beginning of what this life has for you. So get ready because you're about to take off.
Trisha is a Christian girl name of the English origin, and it means noble. Noble people are honest, generous, unselfish, have high morals, honorable, and upstanding. And in researching that a little bit, the noble part, it brought me to Proverbs 31:10 through 31. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's kind of long, but it's the epilogue, the wife of a noble character. And I think it would actually be very fitting for all of you women in this group if you're interested in reading that. But Trisha, you give up what you want so other people can have what they need. Your personality is steady and balanced. You are artistic and creative oriented. You are willing to take action to accomplish your goals. You volunteer and take on your fair share of responsibility. Others seek your advice because you carefully listen to them. Your heart's desire is to become a leader. Your creativity allows you to find solutions. You attract, influence, and inspire others. You radiate a potential for success. You live a risk-filled, thrill-seeking lifestyle. You state needs of opinions clearly for others to understand. Trisha, truth. You speak truth over many things. You are always honest with others. You radiate positivity, success, and good vibes, creating an inviting place. You're inspiring. Your creativity is inspiring to others. You can create an awesome plan to help others. Caring, you always care about others first and their feelings. Trisha, you can care about yourself and your feelings first. It's not selfish. I have a hard time with that. Intentional, you can be intentional with your schedule. You can set sleep, workout, and food schedules and timing. You can do hard things. Attainable, you have many goals that are attainable. You can reach your goal weight. You can be a coach. You can help others. You can wear a size 2. You can reach your sleep goals. It's all attainable. You can do hard things.
And really quickly, what if you didn't have a hard time with believing that being selfish wasn't selfish?
I've just always thought of other people first, and I always worry about how other people are feeling and if they have what they need and if they're comfortable. And that's just been always my nature. So that's very hard for me to put myself before that.
I'm going to challenge you that that's not nature. It's a habit. It's a habit. It's a habit. And it's a form of people pleasing and caring what other people think and not wanting to disappoint them. And that is not biblical. And that is not a Proverbs 31 woman, Trisha, which I believe you were put on this earth to be. And so the first thing that has to happen is our words have to line up with where we want to go. So as long as we're saying, I have a hard time with this, this is just who I've been. Anytime when this is your truth of what you're saying, anytime you try to step out and go make yourself the priority, what happens when you believe this one thing, but you're trying to do this over here? You still feel bad.
Yes. And in doing this, the people pleaser came out. Like that actually went through my mind. And that's why I wrote down that it's not selfish, that I can do me first.
So I love that part. I want you to take out the part as you continue to say this to yourself. I want you to take out the part that I have a hard time with this. And I want you to, as a recovering people pleaser, Trisha, you've got to speak as the woman you're becoming, not as the woman you've been. And so when you're claiming this is just who I am, this is just my nature.
Yeah, I shouldn't.
You're a Proverbs 31 woman, which is more valuable than rubies and golds. Powerful passage. So
yeah, and I read that today. I thought, man, this fits every one of us.
So because you already know you can't be a powerful woman being empty. Nothing empty is more valuable than rubies and gold. That's always only a woman who's filled up, and the only way you can be filled up is to take care of yourself.
Okay. So, Adesua, you are a gift from God, which was declared when your grandfather picked your name. Your grandmother declared that you would never fail. And guess what? You are a gift from God that has blessed several people's lives and continue to do so. And no matter how hard life has been, you have never failed. Your why and your vision is a center when times get tough. Focus on your vision and always know your why. Stop compromising. Stop allowing people to shake your core. You know why, and it is, I lost myself. Not your responsibility to help them understand. Focus on the majority, not the minority in your life. You are free from the burden of managing other people's feelings. You are worthy, talented, entitled, and hardworking, thus deserving of everything God has in store for you. Trust God to lead your path and have faith to accept your blessings, because you are a gift from God who will never fail.
I'm going for it. All right. Bianca, you are limitless. Whatever you set your mind to, you do with 110% tenacity. As your father likes to tell you, that you are a bulldog when it comes to certain things and certain priorities that take precedence in your life. You are caring. You are a leader. Others do seek you out for advice because of the caring nature that you bring about in your daily life. You are enough. You are enough. This is hard. Sorry, I'm trying not to get emotional. You are enough. From the hardworking aspects of just your being a mom, being a soldier, being a wife, being yourself, you are just enough. You don't tell yourself that a lot, but you are transforming into the woman that you are meant to be. And do not let anything stop you. You have hit dark times before. In every season that you've been in, you've always come out the other side into the light. So continue to walk with God, and He will lead you to the path that you need to be. All right, I think that's it.
Judy, you can do this. You have drive, you have determination, you want to succeed. You were named after St. Jude, who was the saint of desperate cases and challenges, and hopefully continue to follow in those footsteps. You have commitment when you want to stick to something and don't give up. God created you to do hard things and to take on challenges. Succeed, stay strong, and stay focused. You have drive, and keep your eye on the end results, and you will feel proud of yourself in the end because you're doing it for yourself and not for anybody else. Remember, you are doing this for you. Stay on track, and you will succeed.
Stacy, you are kind, friendly. You have a big heart that cares about others. You're bright, intelligent, and you can learn new things. You don't give up, and you can do hard things. You've cared for your family well. Now it is time to take care of you. You're a daughter of the Creator. And then when the name meaning had been brought up, I remembered my mother-in-law actually gave us this thing. I had my husband go grab it. And I like what it said about the meaning. I haven't read it in a while, but it says, Stacy, the meaning, fruitful, tranquil, is not jealous of others who are popular, an individual who is liked by all. Someone who is aggressive and enthusiastic, likes to stay alert and up on things, attractive, smart, and patient, a woman who is kind, practical, a warm and lovely lady with her friends, a lady who does not lead a dull life. And I haven't read that in a long time, but I think I'll read that more often.
I love your workout here, Jewel.
Oh, thank you. It's taking me a while to cool off. Okay. Jewel, you are royalty because you are the daughter of the Most High. You were made in Abba's image. And because of Yeshua, you have all things that are good. You own the cattle on 1,000 hills. You are loved. Be encouraged and encourage others by your walk in Abba Yah.
Catherine Ann Sloan, you were created for a purpose. God has given you the strength, His strength, and put His light inside of you. Nothing can dim your light. All of the resources you need to succeed are within you. You have gone through the painful journey of breaking the generational curse of addiction to drugs and alcohol, and you will break the unholy addiction to food. With God on your side, you will not fail. You are always doing your best, and your best keeps getting better. Your worth is immeasurable. You are an amazing wife, mother, sister, daughter, and friend. You are choosing to better yourself for the people you love. You have been given godly wisdom for such a time as this to raise up strong men and women who will learn great habits from you at even a young age. No matter what, you never ever give up. When you fall down, you get back up and keep going every time. Again, you were made for such a time as this.
Dear Mary, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for you. I'm grateful for your willingness to be molded, stretched, refined, strengthened, and grown. I'm watching you grow to new levels and places, and I'm proud of you for listening and the obedience you have in this season. I admire your willingness to be real, your box checking, meal prepping, and overcoming challenges. I'm proud that you're making the health practices of sleep, balanced nutrition, supplementation, and exercise priority in your life and putting yourself first, even at a new level. I'm proud that you're letting go of busy and the things that don't matter, even the things you love. I watch you trying new things and exercises to push yourself and not stay in a comfort zone. I'm proud of you, your open heart to overcome past hurts and let these beautiful friends and see the vulnerable and even ugly parts of you fully. Mary, friend, God sees your work, your trials, failures, wins, and your transformation. And he says, good job, faithful servant. Keep going. The journey is just beginning.
Hello, astronaut. This is a space station.
I am coming to you from USS Indiana. Let me grab my mine's on 2 pages, but I can talk fast. Heather, you are worthy of success. You are smart enough to accomplish anything that you put your mind to. You have proven over and over again that you can do very hard things. You deserve to be loved for who you are. You make an impact on the people around you. People want to know your secrets. They want to know what you have. You are beautiful on the inside and out. You're funny. Your body is strong and sexy and built for pleasure. You are an amazing lover. Your children love you and they are thankful for you. You give good advice. People actually pay to be part of your programs. You are an expert in your field and your peers invite you to participate in their endeavors. You are going to enjoy being alive and thriving for the next 50 years. And you deserve to live those 50 years in your right-sized body.
Dear Jennifer, you have come far from who you were in your 20s and your 30s and your 40s, and then by leaps and bounds over only a year, the past year. You have changed in spirit, in faith, having released agreements that held you hostage and making room for growth. You have changed in character, having matured in how you relate to others and how you allow others to impact you. You have changed physically, having overcome obstacles, build strength, and nurture your body that has been faithful to you. Now you are growing and stretching in ways you've never known before. You have a new horizon ahead. So it's not time to get comfortable and settle in. It's time to stay the course and see the details in the horizon as you move closer and closer to it. Develop that vision daily. Do not become concerned about what others think about you, about what inspires you to move forward. It is not your concern. Every good desire of the heart was planted there by your Creator. Continue to pursue them and you will be fulfilled.
Do not hide in the shadows over shame of pursuing virtuous goals when that's what drives you. Your birth parsha includes the teaching of the mikvah and the wellspring. This is baptism. Water is calming and resets your mind. It is cleansing. It brings new life. The change from last year to this year was like entering a mikvah and leaving a changed person. Passover is coming. It is a time of renewal for you has been a time of renewal for you for years, a time of revelation. Before it arrives, be at peace with your intentions. Set them daily, diligently, and consistently, following through, pursuing the wellspring with Torah as your guide. You are kind, gentle, loving, a magnetic leader, and your will and drive to achieve what you have set your mind to will blow through all obstacles that once seemed impossible. You're making wise choices, careful with your commitments, and following through with with confidence. You are reliable and dependable. You are a woman of God, a woman with a vision that will help others to begin believing in themselves again too. You have come this far. You will not fail.
Dear Afia, you deserve the life you have. You belong in the role you are in. God has blessed you and you are worthy. You don't have to be perfect. Dearest, sweet, driven, resilient Afia, you are forgiven for the transgressions of the past. It is okay to not have perfection. You are dedicated. You are selfless. You lead with love, not fear. You are passionate, protective, and graceful. Be kind to yourself. Find time to focus. Parenting is hard, and you are doing a great job.
Awesome job, all of you. And, your future really does depend on what you think of you, how you see yourself, what you're saying. And so often, right, we have this battle of where we've been and where we're going. And the number one thing that keeps people stuck at where they've been is that they still talk like who they were. They still talk like where they've been. They talk more about the past than they do about the future. They talk more about their mistakes than they do about their future successes. They talk more about their mess ups than they do about the areas they're overcoming. And so you can't live in the past but expect a bright future. And part of that bright future is you believing in the woman that you are becoming. The woman you're becoming. And it's almost, one of the hardest parts is it's kind of letting go of the person we've been. And we have to let go in order to become who we want to become. One of the greatest compliments that any of us can get. We talked about people being negative tonight and what that looks like. Somewhere along this journey, hopefully somebody's going to tell you, you've changed. And you're going to be able to look them in the face and say, thank you for noticing. Because in order for you to change your future, you've got to make changes. It's impossible to change where we're going without making changes in our daily activity. Change is the catalyst for change. Change your health, you got to change what you eat. Change your health, you've got to change what you've been doing. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, but expecting a different result, expecting to still eat the Doritos, expecting to still eat all the things we want, but somehow get a smaller butt. Like that doesn't happen. And so we are coming in to this 10th week. We've got what? 3 meetings left, something like that. Like we are in the back, we're coming around the final lap of phase 1 of this program. And this isn't the time to get comfortable. This isn't the time to rest. It's not the time to sit back. This is the time for the next 21 days to empty the tank, to leave it all on the table, to remember what we're fighting for. And you're fighting for your future.